إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وآله. أما بعد, the book we read here this evening is Al-Farq Bayna An-Naseehah wa by Al-Hafiz Zainuddin ibn Rajab al-Hanbali rahimahullah Abul-Farq. It's about the difference between insults, the difference between ghiba and an-nasiha. Ghiba is dhikruka akhaka bima yakrahu dhikrahu. Ghiba is to mention about your brother something he dislikes to be mentioned about him. This ghiba. And in An-Naseehah, if you want to correct him, you also تذكر ما هو يكره ذكره. You will mention something that he dislikes that we mentioned. So the two of them connect here, but they differ from very many other angles. One of which is that in An-Naseehah, the niyyah is islah. You want to rectify him. And the niyyah can also be iqamatul haqq wa idharuhu. You also want to establish the truth and make it be known in An-Naseehah. But in Al-Ghiba, you want to make ifsad al-dhatil bayn. You want to destroy the good dealings amongst people. And perhaps the one who is making ghiba yanwi dhamma akhi, his intention is that he wants to debase his brother. He wants to disgrace him. He wants to demean him. And that was why from the very beginning Ibn Rajab said rahimahullah, إذا كان المقصود منه مجرد الذم والعيب والنقص. This is at-ta'yir, or it will fall under ghiba. But as for an-nasiha, it is something that the Sharia has encouraged. And one of the ways the scholars have encouraged that is you always see them correcting the mistake of one learned person. One learned person says something, he errs. Another learned person corrects the error. This statement is an error. Why? Because of the following evidences. They begin to correct, give evidences. Now, like Ibn Rajab said, rahimahullah, the reason why they correct these things is إظهار الحق الذي بعث الله به رسوله. They want the truth with which Allah has raised His Prophet to be known. That's why they correct a mistake. One learned person can make the tafsir of an ayah. The other one will come to say, no, that explanation is wrong. Why? For the following reasons. He will give a hadith, or he will make istishhad with another ayah from the Quran to show that this is the correct meaning, not this one. Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, he has a book in 2 big volumes, Tafsir Ayat Ashkalat Istashkalatha al-Mufassirun. He is making the tafsir of verses of the Quran that some scholars of tafsir find problems with it. One of the verses he mentioned, we'd mentioned it sometime. It's a matter of seriousness. that a person can become a Rasul when he was a mushrik. He was a mushrik. He will accept Islam, and Allah will raise him to the level of a Rasul. That amongst the Rasul there are some of them. One of them was Lut. Ibn Taymiyyah mentioned that verse in Surah Al-Ankabut. Because Allah said, فَآمَنَ لَهُ Lut. Lut had iman in who? Ibrāhīm. Alayhi salatu wassalam. So if he was not a mushrik, why would Allah say amana? He gave other verses in the Quran. فَآمَنَ لَهُ Lut. Lut accepted iman. He was not upon the deen of Ibrāhīm. He was his nephew. He wasn't upon Tawheed like Ibrāhīm alayhi salatu wassalam. فَآمَنَ لَهُ Lut. وَقَالَ إِنِّي مُهَاجِرٌ إِلَىٰ رَبِّي. So Lut accepted iman. But this verse, because some of the ulama have the view that all the Anbiya and Rusul, none of them had that before he accepted Islam, and then Allah raised him to the level of a Rasul. So they have a problem with that verse. فَآمَنَ لَهُ Lut. Ibn Taymiyyah said, آمَنَ لَهُ Lut, آمَنَ لَهُ Lut. وَلَمْ يَكُنْ مُؤْمِنًا فَآمَنَ بِهِ يعني بإبراهيم. So when people, the others will say, no, this is the correct thing because of so evidence, and then so many things would happen, they would present it. Why? Ibn Rajab said the reason they were doing that, rahimahullah, ala qasdi izhar al-haqq alladhi ba'atha Allah bihi rasulahu. Izhar al-haqq, they want to show, make manifest the truth with which Allah has sent his Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam. وَلِأَنْ يَكُونَ الدِّينُ كُلُّهُ لِلَّهِ وَلِأَنْ يَكُونَ الدِّينُ كُلُّهُ لِلَّهِ. They also want a situation where the deen will be for Allah alone. وَأَنْ تَكُونَ كَلِمَتُهُ هِيَ الْعُلْيَا. They want Allah's words to be the most supreme, to remain the most supreme. These were the reasons why they were saying those things and correcting those errors. Another reason why they were correcting those errors is that كلهم معترفون بأن الإحاطة بالعلم كله من غير شذوذ شيء منه ليس هو مرتبة أحد منهم. They were all also aware, they acknowledged the fact that al-ihatatu bil ilmi kulli, that each one of them has ihata with knowledge. Everything, bumbum kaloma. Min ghayri shuzudhi shay'in minhu. Without finding anything strange inside it, in his opinions. Something he will say, your scholars will say, no, this one is wrong. And wallahi, there is no learned person who does not have that. Something he will say, no, this one is wrong. Al-Imām Malik rahimahullah, he always says, وَمَنِ الَّذِي لَا يُخْتِئُ. Man. Who is it who will not err? Nobody. You say something, say, no, this statement is wrong. All are Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, Imam Ahl-Sunnah al-Jama'ah. He has one view. Each time I remember the view, I just smile. See, Allah is the one that is Lillahi al-Kamal. He has a view. If you want to marry a wife, you can see everything in her. Everything. Ma yad'uka ila nikah. Everything. Ma yad'uka ila nikah. Tara minha ma yad'uka ila nikah. You can see from a woman anything that can invite you to marry her. Anything, everything. Ma yad'uk. He was working on a hadith. It's the view of Imam Ahmad. There are others among scholars who had that view. Like Ibn Hazm rahimahullah. We know him before. Abu Muhammad Ibn al-Wazir al-Andalus. I like that Imam so much. May Allah forgive his shortcomings and the rest of the ulama. So كلهم يعترفون أو معترفون بأن الإحاطة بالعلم كله. They are all aware. They all acknowledge that having an all-encompassing nature regarding knowledge, everything in knowledge, من غير شذوذ شيء منه ليس هو مرتبة أحد منه. That you don't have any opinion people criticize. No scholar has that view. Al-Imam al-Albani rahimahullah in our own times is the biggest alim in our time. The most learned human being in our own times was Al-Imam al-Albani rahimahullah. He has a view that some of us think, why is Shaykh having this kind of an opinion? Like his view on veiling the face. He has a lot of works on it. He defended it with tooth and nail, rahimahullah. But for me, the more I read it, the more I think, hey Shaykh, why is Shaykh taking this kind of thing? Why? We all know that no learned person has it all. Nobody. Mention the person. Mention the person. The scholars will tell you his mistake now. Nobody has it all. And Imam Malik used to say it. مَا مِنَّا إِلَّا يُؤْخَذُ مِنْ قَوْلِهِ وَيُرَدْ. There is no one amongst us except that his statements will be accepted sometimes. At another time, we throw his statements away. The only person who is safe from that is Rasulullah. So all the scholars are aware that they don't know everything. And then we want the truth to be established. So when a learned person errs and we are correcting him, he will accept correction. We have a duty to correct properly. And we had said it earlier. Allahumma illa al-musannifu mimman yufhishu fil kalam wa yusi'u al-adaba fil ibara fayunkaru alayhi fahashatuhu wa isa'atuhu duna asli raddihi wa mukhalafatihi. If the person making the Naseehah, it is possible an yakuna al-musannif, the one who wrote the book trying to correct an error, mimman yufhishu fil kalam. Maybe he was indecent in his expressions. Wa yusi'ul adab. And then he wasn't mannerly. He showed some bad manners fil ibara in his expressions that he employed while correcting the learned person. فَيُنْكَرُ عَلَيْهِ فَحَاشَتُهُ. So his indecency will be corrected. وَإِسَاءَتُهُ. His bad manners will be corrected. We'll throw it away. So why are you talking like this? Don't talk like this. نَصِيحَةً لَهُ. So we set aside those isa'ats and fahasha. دُونَ أَصْلِ رَدِّهِ وَمُخَالَفَتِهِ. But the basic correction that he was taking, we will take that correction. This was a job that all the scholars were upon. That was why Ibn Rajab rahimahullah, he wanted to give us an example during the time of Umar radiyallahu anhu, that a woman corrected Umar regarding when he said rahimahullah kama qala Umar radiyallahu anhu fi muhuri nisa. We have said that this statement that Umar said is da'if. It's not sahih. No woman corrected Umar radiyallahu anhu. It was said that Umar said asabat imra'atun wa rajulun akhta'a. In fact, in this expression itself there is nakara. Asabat imra'atun wa rajulun akhta'a. Is there anything that says that it is rijal fi kulli waqtin that they will be upon isaba? Nothing says that, but this expression can mean that. So this isnad is not sahih. No woman came to Umar to say, yu'tina rabbuna wa tamna'una ya Umar. Our Lord has given us and you are preventing us. No woman said that to Umar radiyallahu anhu. So Ibn Rajab went on and said from page 9, وكان بعض المشهورين إذا قال في رأيه بشيء يقول هذا رأينا فمن جاءنا برأي أحسن منه قبلناه. So all of these we had read in the class before. I want us to return to these classes. The ulama, all they know, we can make mistakes. Point one. Point two, they want it in a situation where at all times the truth should be known. Now, because they know that they can make mistakes, they also want the truth to be known. So it is necessary that whenever there is a mistake, the truth regarding that matter in which there is a mistake should be known. It should be presented to the people. Oh, this one is a mistake, this one is correct. These are the evidences why this one is a mistake. These evidences show that this one is correct. It is part of our religion, and it is from our deen. One of those, like Ibn Rajab said, rahimahullah, who was always saying this to his students was Al-Imam Shafi'i, rahimahullah, Muhammad ibn Idris. He would say, Ma nadharani ahadun fabalaytu. No one had an intellectual conversation with me and I cared. I don't care. What don't I care about? أظهرت الحجة على لسانه أو على لساني. Has the evidence, has correctness emerged from him or from me? I don't care. Meaning that if he finds that it is the other person who is correct, he will take it. If he's the one that's correct, he will take it. He will take it. He doesn't care who it has. In our own times, when learned people discuss, you always see, from beginning, he wants to show that I'm the one that's correct. You are wrong. You can have this intention at the beginning. But when the discussion goes on, you should have an open mind that if it's clear that it appears that I'm the one that is wrong, accept the truth. So that the truth will be known. Error will be known. And then kalimatullahi takunu hiya al-ulya. It will be that yes, this is the deen of Allah. It will be established, this is the correct thing. We want hujjah to be known, to be established, to be accepted by everybody. I want it, you want it. So it's not important. From which person's mouth does it come? It's not important. So Al-Imam Shafi'i was always saying things like this. If I say anything, you find a hadith, throw my statement away, take the hadith. But did he not know the hadith before? He said, I may not know. That is the meaning. If I didn't know, and then there's evidence, hadith, sahih. Don't throw away a hadith because of something that I have said. He said that repeatedly, rahimahullah. Ibn Rajab said, rahimahullah, وهذا يدل على أنه لم يكن له قصد إلا في ظهور الحق. هذا يدل على أنه, this points that Al-Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah لم يكن له قصد, he was not having any intention at all in his own intellectual discourses إلا في ظهور الحق, except that he wants the truth to be known from wherever. وَلَوْ كَانَ عَلَى لِسَانِ غَيْرِهِ, even if that comes from the expressions from the mouth of another person, I don't care. The truth should be known. Ikhwa, it's a big thing. He is saying a position, another person is saying a position. He realizes that this is a stronger evidence. He is the one who will say, this is true. You have actually said the truth. It's big. It's big. And it is scarce and rare now. Despite all the claims of our Salafi, 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 many times your brother will say something you will not accept. You will know that what he's saying is correct. In fact, there's an approach. Your brother will say something that is correct. For you to drop your opinion, you now change the discussion. It will look like the discussion that he refuted, but it's not that. It is another thing. He will change the topic. You will not affirm that one to be truth. You change from start another one. Then the argument will be on that one. We say that Muqtada ibn Abba service, some scholars say he was from the person of Bayna. Some scholars say he was from the person of Sunnah. These people who say he was from the person of Bayna, they did not say, if you don't accept that we accept that he's a person of Bayna, then you are the person. That's the point. It's clear. Not only from said that the where there is Ibrāhīm amongst the people, the role of the person will be a person of Ibrāhīm or not. The point is not that which one is correct. We are not who want him to be a person of Ibrāhīm. Those who were right. We are not who want him to be a person of Sunnah. Those who were right. This is not the topic, and it's not the topic. But it's not the topic. The topic is that those who said there was a person of Bayna, they did not take the view of those who say they don't believe there is a person of Bayna. We get it up. The topic is that they did not, all parties, Kano Sunniya, Kano Mubtadi'a, they did not make the view of themselves. That is the issue. So each scholars in our own time have a view different. This one says Fulan is from the people of Bayna. This one says Fulan from the people of Sunnah. Okay. The other people who say that is a person of Bayna, if you don't accept that we say that is a person of Bayna, anta don't happen. Join with him. They were not doing that. There's a lot of them. One of the scholars had a meeting on Al-Farq Al-Mubadda'un min rijal kutub sittah. Some reporters who were given the ruling of evolution from those who compiled 6 books of hadith. If this thing is becoming historical. If you go to this book in 4 big volumes, there is almost many of them is Imām from the students of Abdur-Raūf. There's some say he was from the Khawarij. Others say no, he wasn't. The topic is not that was he Khariji or not. That is not the topic. The topic is that the two groups who gave a ruling on him, where that was that difference a reason to be making tabdi of one another. So they were not making tabdi of one another person instead of saying they were making tabdi of one another. These are evidences. That will be the correct response. Instead of saying that, you say that, oh, Ikrima was not a person of bid'ah. Is that the topic? It was not the topic whether Ikrima الذي ترجح أنه كان مبتدعا. لا, that is not the topic. أو الذي ترجح أنه كان سنيا. That is not the topic. The topic is that بين المبدعين ومن حكم عليه بالسنة لم يكونوا يبدعوا بعضهم بعضا. They were not making tabdi of one another. That is the point. So they changed the topic. Salafi today, they will change the topic. They say they are defending Salafiyah. This is not Salafi. You are defending your own power. If you want to defend it, you say no. They were making tabdi of one another. These are evidences. You bring evidence. We say al-hukmu ala-nas amrun ijtihadi. It is ijtihad. You say no, it is not ijtihad. Give us evidence. Give us nususul a'imma that says it is not ijtihad. You begin to insult and abuse. Say we are defending Salafiyah. So we change topic. Instead of addressing the topic, you change the topic. As for Ash-Shafi'i rahimahullah, in his own case, he does not care. The truth came from you, it came from me. Is this the truth he will accept? Is this the truth he will accept? Is this the strongest view he will accept? Whether it came from him, وَلَوْ كَانَ عَلَى لِسَانِ غَيْرِ, or that it came from another person, مِمَّنْ يُنَاظِرُهُ أَوْ يُخَالِفُهُ, from those who had intellectual discourses with him, who differed with him. Who is saying the truth? Where is the truth? That is the important thing. Not who said the truth. Is what he said true? And how do we know whether it is true or not? The evidences that follows, that come along with it. So if you want to say no, al-hukmu ala nas, it's not amrun ijtihadiyun. Give us nususul a'imma that says that it is bil wahy. You want to rule on somebody today, it's a person of bid'ah, it's a person of sunnah, it is not ijtihad. Give us nususul a'imma that says that. You would have addressed the matter. But when you don't say that, you change the topic, you start saying something else. Ikrima was a person of sunnah, Qatada was a person of bid'ah, was a person of sunnah. That is not the topic. So Ibn Rajab said, rahimahullah, وَهَذَا يَدُلُّ عَلَىٰ أَنَّهُ لَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ قَصْدٌ إِلَّا ظُهُورُ الْحَقِّ وَلَوْ كَانَ عَلَىٰ لِسَانِ غَيْرِهِ مِمَّنْ يُنَاظِرُهُ أَوْ يُخَالِفُهُ وَمَنْ كَانَتْ هَذِهِ حَالُهُ, anyone whose condition is like that of Ash-Shafi'i, as we have said, فَإِنَّهُ لَا يَكْرَهُ أَنْ يُرَدَّ عَلَيْهِ قَوْلُهُ. This kind of a person will not hate that his statements were refuted. He will not hate it. وَيَتَبَيَّنُ لَهُ مُخَالَفَتُهُ لِلسُّنَّةِ. He will not hate it that something that he said that contradicts the sunnah has been made known. Shaykh, you have contradicted the sunnah here. He will tell you, Jazakallahu khairah. Why? You have made him to know something that he did not know before. You have made him to know a hujjah that he did not know before. We cited that regarding Imām Malik when he was describing wudu to the people. He did not mention tafdeel al-asabi. After the class, one student went to him. Shaykh, there is hadith on tafdeel al-asabi. The Prophet commanded us to do it, alayhi salatu. You know what he asked him? He said, Amman. Who reported it to you? It's like asking isnad whether it is sahih. Give me the isnad, let me hear. And the student gave Imam Malik the isnad. Isnad even had Abdullah ibn Lahiyah in it. He went to, he mentioned the hadith. Malik said, oh, this is Hasan. The following day when he was teaching with him, he mentioned Taqleel. This is correct. This is the way Salaf used to be. They will not change the topic. They will not. It's another approach today. Changing topic. Change topic. It is not a mistake that they changed the topic. They knew deliberately to change the topic. Why? They just had somewhat of some kind. So why not accept the truth? You now begin to make audios, 7 audios, 8 audios. So people listening to you want to hear you say, address the topic. You are not addressing the topic. You are saying, so it doesn't matter. You can have a PhD. If you have not addressed the matter, in fact, the PhD should be withdrawn. If you behave like this. My friend, you have not addressed the matter. How come you got a PhD? So this condition of Shafi'i, man kanat hadihi halu, anyone whose condition is like this, فَإِنَّهُ لَا يَكْرَهُ أَنْ يُرَدَّ عَلَيْهِ قَوْلُهُ. He will not feel bad that his statement was addressed and corrected. وَيَتَبَيَّنُ لَهُ مُخَالَفَتُهُ لِلسُّنَّةِ. so that his contradicting the sunnah becomes clear to him. La fi hayatihi. He will not condemn it when he's alive. Wala fi mamati. He will not condemn it even after he had died. If he were able to condemn, he will not condemn. It should not be condemned. Why? He himself, if he was alive, if he saw the hujjah, he will follow the hujjah. So why are you worried? And Imam Ibn Rajab continued and said, وَهَذَا هُوَ الظَّنُّ بِغَيْرِهِ مِنْ أَئِمَّةِ الْإِسْلَامِ. This is what we think of others apart from Ash-Shafi'i, from the leading scholars of Islam. الذَّابِينَ عَنْهُ. Those who have taken it as a job to be defending the religion. الْقَائِمِينَ بِنَصْرِهِ. Those who have taken it as a job to be helping the deen. مِنَ السَّلَفِ وَالْخَلَفِ. From amongst the scholars who have gone in the past and from those who came after them. What is our dhann with them? These are Imām, Shafi'i, Malik, Abu Hanifa, Nu'man ibn Thabit. Not just these ones, Abu Thawr, At-Tibyān, Sufyan al-Thawri. All these are Imām. They want their mistakes to be corrected. They want the haqq to show. They knew that they did not know everything. You are PhD, it does not mean that you know everything. I beg, be patient, be humble. So all of them, they knew if they made a mistake, their mistake can be corrected. If they are right, alhamdulillah. If they made a mistake, the mistake can be corrected. Why can they make mistake? They knew that they did not know everything. So that humility that I don't know everything makes them feel, if I now get somebody to show me my error, I should accept it. وَلَمْ يَكُونُوا يَكْرَهُونَ مُخَالَفَةَ مَنْ خَالَفَهُمْ. لَمْ يَكُونُوا يَكْرَهُونَ. They were not hating it. They were not despising مُخَالَفَةَ مَنْ خَالَفَهُمْ. The contradiction of a person who contradicts them to show them their mistake. They were not doing that. لم يكونوا يكرهون مخالفة من خالفهم أيضا بدليل عرض له. They were not angry that someone contradicted them because of an evidence that became known to him. You have a view. The person had another view. Because of one evidence that he has. So he contradicted the view of you, big sheikh. The big sheikhs in the past. لم يكونوا يكرهون ذلك. They did not used to dislike that. ولو لم يكن ذلك الدليل قويا عندهم. Even if that dalil that the other person stands on to contradict them, even if that dalil in their view is not strong. You have contradicted big sheikh with a dalil. He knew what you stand upon, that this dalil that you are standing upon is weak. They will not be angry, despite the fact that they knew that the evidence you use against them is a weak evidence. They will not be angry. They will not be angry, but that evidence has issues. It usually happens with the scholars of hadith and others. When a faqih does fiqh upon a hadith that is weak, he presents the hadith that is weak as hujjah against muhaddith. Muhaddith understand that the isnad has issues. Faqih who thinks there is a hadith and you masha, it can be used, it can be passed for evidence. Muhaddis understand that la yumasha misluhu. Even if you want to pass it, not this time. So Faqih will say there is evidence. So despite that, he understands that his evidence is weak. there will not be quarrel, there will not be fights. There will not be quarrel. There are many masail regarding this. Even amongst Muasir, they will not quarrel you, they will not fight you. They knew that what you are saying is weak. The evidence is weak. They know perhaps your interpretation is wrong. That kalima does not mean what you interpret it to mean. Yet you have interpreted it upon an error that was clear to them, and you are using it against them. Yet they will not fight you because of that. Rahimahumullah. So he says, وَلَمْ يَكُونُوا يَكْرَهُونَ مُخَالَفَةَ مَنْ خَالَفَهُمْ أَيْضًا بِدَلِيلٍ عَرَضَ لَهُ وَلَوْ لَمْ يَكُنْ ذَلِكَ الدَّلِيلُ قَوِيًّا عِنْدَهُمْ بِحَيْثُ يَتَمَسَّكُونَ بِهِ. That evidence is not strong at all in their opinion, in their own knowledge, to the extent that يَتَمَسَّكُونَ بِهِ وَيَتْرُكُونَ دَلِيلَهُمْ لَهُ. It is not strong so much that يَتَمَسَّكُونَ بِهِ وَيَتْرُكُونَ دَلِيلًا. So that it is not strong in their view that because of that your dalil, they will now throw away their own. It's not that kind of evidence that because of it we can leave what we stand on. What we stand on is strong. What you are criticizing us with is weak. So that evidence is too weak. We can't take it to leave this one that is stronger than it. They throw it. Even at that, لم يكونوا يكرهون مخالفة من خالفهم. They did not used to take a quarrel. They did not used to take a fight. This matter we will come back to it, bi'idhnillah. He said رحمه الله ولهذا كان الإمام أحمد رحمه الله. Because of what we have said, Al-Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal رحمه الله يذكر إسحاق ibn Rahwayh. He would mention Al-Imam Ishaq ibn Rahwayh. We know Ishaq ibn Rahwayh from the teachers of Al-Imam al-Bukhari. When Al-Bukhari mentions Ishaq in his Sahih, he would say, حدثنا Ishaq. You should know when I say حدثنا Ishaq, I am talking about my Shaykh Ishaq ibn Ibrāhīm. It was upon his talk that Al-Imam al-Bukhari compiled Sahih Bukhari. Students were in a discussion. Ishaq ibn Rahwayh passed by them and said, you these students and scholars of hadith, I wish that somebody compiled a book that would be sahih, that would be mukhtasar, that would be musnad fi ayyami rasulillahi alayhi salatu wasalam wa sunani, about the life of the Prophet and his sunnah. Maybe somebody should think about it, you students. Bukhari said, Allah put it in my mind, I will be the one to do it. The person who made that statement was who? Ishaq ibn Ibrāhīm ibn Rahwayh al-Hanbali. He was the one who made that statement. He was from the Aqran of Al-Imam Ahmad. And Imam Ahmad respects Ishaq so much. Imam Ahmad was older, and Ishaq ibn Rahwayh was very learned. Rahimahumullah. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal would always say, Ishaq lam yara mithlahu. Ishaq huwa lam yara mithla nafsi. Ishaq himself has not seen the like of himself. One day someone asked Imam Ahmad about Ishaq ibn Rahwayh. That, Shaykh, can you tell us something about Ishaq ibn Ibrāhīm? Imam Ahmad said, rahimahullah, Mislu Ishaq yus'al anhu. Is it the type of Ishaq? People like you, Ishaq, you want to be asking about? Ishaq, indana Imām. Ishaq ibn Ibrāhīm, in our view as we know him, Imam Ahmad said, Ishaq, indana Imāmun. Who called him Imam? So Ishaq was from the people of knowledge, from the A'imma of this deen was Ishaq ibn Ibrāhīm ibn Rahwaya. And Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal once said about him, لا أعرف لإسحاق في الدنيا نظيرا. Imam Ahmad said, لا أعرف لإسحاق في الدنيا نظيرا. I don't know the like of Ishaq ibn Ibrahim in this dunya. Rahimahullah. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal respects him so much, so much, so much. Once he was asked about his hibs, Ishaq ibn Ibrahim, and he was telling the people about himself. You know, sometimes students, they want teacher to shout talk. Ishaq said, Rahimahullah, ما كنت أسمع شيئا إلا حفظته ما كنت أسمع شيئا إلا حفظته ولا حفظت شيئا قط فنسيته لا حفظت شيئا قط فنسيته. I wouldn't hear something except that it's got stuck in my brain. I memorize it. When I hear it, it's there. It's hard. And I would not memorize something and then I forget. I didn't forget. Ishaq was from the A'imma. It's not sufficient to say Kana Aliman, Kana Imaman. He was from the A'imma of this deen. So Ibn Rajab said, Rahimahullah, Kana Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, Rahimahullah, يذكر إسحاق ibn Rahwaya. He would mention Ishaq ibn Rahwaya. وَيَمْدَحُهُ. We have mentioned some of the statements with which he praises him. Yusni alayhi. He will mention Ishaq. He will be praising Ishaq, praising Ishaq. وَيُثْنِي عَلَيْهِ. He will be saying well about Ishaq ibn Ibrahim ibn Rahwaya, from the teachers of Al-Bukhari. I always say to people, أَيُّهَا النَّاسِ, if I don't know anything about you than that Bukhari came to sit down with you to take your knowledge, it is sufficient that you are a knowledgeable person. Bukhari sat down to listen to you that you have knowledge. It is enough evidence that that person kana aliman imaman. Bukhari will not sit down with you to take your knowledge if you are not knowledgeable. Especially fi sahih, fil usul, muhtajjan bika. You are a person that he makes evidence with. Fi sahih, fil usul. You are alim. Jawast al-qantara. You have crossed the bridge. He did that a lot with Ishaq ibn Ibrahim ibn Rahwaya. Rahimahullah. So Imam Ahmad, he will praise Ishaq, as we have said. Then he will now say, وَإِنْ كَانَ يُخَالِفُ فِي أَشْيَاءٍ. Even though, as we have praised Ishaq, as we have talked about him, مَا رَأَيْتُ لِإِسْحَاقَ نَظِيرًا فِي الدُّنْيَا. Imam Ahmad said that. I never see huwa mara amithla nafsihi. He didn't see there is nobody like Ishaq amongst us in terms of knowledge. Al-Imam al-Zahabi in Siyar Alam al-Nubala, he said rahimahullah that kana ma'a hifdhihi imaman fi tafsir. Apart from his strong hifdh, Ishaq ibn Ibrahim ibn Rahwaya kana imaman fi tafsir. He was a leading scholar in the sciences of tafsir. Wa imaman fil fiqh. He was from amongst the a'imma in fiqh. Rahimahullah. Min a'immatil ijtihad. He had reached the level of ijtihad. Who said that about him? Zahabi, Shamsuddin, Abu Abdullah. This is Ishaq ibn Ibrahim. Including all this, hear what Ahmad ibn Hanbal would say. وَإِن كَانَ يُخَالِفُ فِي أَشْيَاءٍ. Yes, we are praising, he is very knowledgeable, but he used to contradict us in some matters. فَإِنَّ النَّاسِ But the truth is that human beings, لَمْ يَزَلْ بَعْضُهُمْ يُخَالِفُ بَعْضًا. One common thing about us is that a group of them will contradict another group. Yes, Ishaq is not like he used to contradict us. We'll say something, we'll say another one. But it's normal. After all, human beings contradict one another. Why are we saying this? لَمْ يَكُونُوا يَكْرَهُونَ مُخَالَفَةَ مَنْ خَالَفَ. They did not used to find it as a quarrel. Students, don't quarrel because somebody said something different from what your ustaz has said. He's contradicting our ustaz. He's saying that our ustaz said, is your ustaz Masu? If he had, like Azabi said, Rajab said, Rahimahullah, if in his statements, أفحش في الكلام وأساء الأدب في ماذا؟ في العبارة. If he wasn't mannerly, he wasn't decent in his ibarat, that is something else. ينكر عليه سوء أدبه. His su'ul adab will be mentioned. Hey, this is su'ul adab. But this truth, we will take it. Shaykh was wrong. This brother was correct. This is Salafiyah now. Don't change the topic. Yes, many times people change the topic, so the talks will now be long. Ọ̀rọ̀ wa gùn. Kìsebita àti bẹ̀rẹ̀ làwa ń rojọ́ lé lórí. Ọ̀rọ̀ gùn. That is one reason that talks are always many. Talk. Because the learned ones will change the topic, or that ignorant ones will join the discussion. The talks will be long. Why? Learned ones will do what? Change the topic. Or what? Ignorant ones, they will join the talk. So the talk will now be long, endless. Everybody will be talking. Young brothers will say, did you hear that Ustaz Dagbaja did Rodu? You'll be talking. Rodu that does not solve the problem. Is that Rodu? It did not solve the problem. It did not address the matter. You have changed the topic. May Allah protect us. So these A'imma lam yakunu yakrahuna mukhalafata man khalafahum aidan بدليل عرض له ولو لم يكن ذلك الدليل قويا عندهم بحيث يتمسكون به ويتركون دليله. ولهذا كان الإمام أحمد رحمه الله تعالى يذكر إسحاق ابن راهويه ويمدحه ويثني عليه ويقول وإن كان يخالف في أشياء فإن الناس لم يزل بعضهم يخالف بعضا أو كما قال. Ibn Rajab, maybe he wrote this from his memory. That was why he said what? أو كما قال. And if you return to Siyar Alam al-Nubala, that is where this statement is. Please write it near your nuskha. This statement occurs in Siyar Alam al-Nubala by Al-Hafiz Shamsuddin al-Zahabi. It was from there that Ibn Rajab cited it. But perhaps he cited it from his memory. He might have cited it from other masadir, because Ibn Rajab too kana imaman. Rahimahullah. He continued, he said, وَكَانَ كَثِيرًا يُعْرَضُ عَلَيْهِ كَلَامُ إِسْحَاقَ وَغَيْرِهِ مِنَ الْأَئِمَّةِ. Many times, يُعْرَضُ عَلَيْهِ, people will present to Imam Ahmad, rahimahullah, كَلَامُ إِسْحَاقَ, a position by Ishaq ibn Rahowi regarding a matter. People always do it. They say, Dr. So-so-so said so-so-so. Shaykh so-so-so said so-so-so. Ustaz so-so-so said so-so-so regarding this matter. What will you say about it? They used to ask the A'imma too like that. يُعْرَضُ عَلَيْهِ كَلَامُ إِسْحَاقِ. The views of Ishaq ibn Ibrāhīm will be mentioned to Imam Ahmad. وَغَيْرِهِ مِنَ الْأَئِمَّةِ. And others apart from Ishaq ibn Rahowi. وَمَأَخَذُهُمْ فِي أَقْوَالِهِمْ. They will tell Imam Ahmad, that position they took, it is because of this hadith. فَلَا يُوَافِقُهُمْ فِي قَوْلِهِمْ. Still, Imam Ahmad, لَا يُوَافِقُهُمْ. He will not be on the same page with them. He will not conform with them. He will not agree with them regarding that view. وَلَا يُنْكَرُ عَلَيْهِمْ أَقْوَالُهُمْ. لَا يُنْكَرُ عَلَيْهِمْ أَقْوَالَهُمْ. He will not also say what they have said. They don't have knowledge. They don't know this. لَا يُنْكَرُ عَلَيْهِمْ أَقْوَالَهُم. Imam Ahmad will not now say all those statements is wrong, is this, is that. No. Just because it contradicts a view that he holds. هُوَ لَا يُنْكِرُ عَلَيْهِمْ أَقْوَالَهُم. Imam Ahmad will not say, oh, I am Imam Al-Sunnah al-Jama'ah. The Ai did not used to behave like that. It is in our own time when people say that you are wrong, you start saying that you have majesty. So because you have majesty, all the knowledge is come to you. All the knowledge came to you. Oh, I'm Doctor. I'm Mutakhasis. Mutakhasis means you know everything. Mustaw'ibun bil ilm kullihi. My friend, look at the topic, look at the matter they say you should look at. It can be anybody, it can be me too tomorrow, regarding any matter. It can be anybody, it can be anybody. This discussion, I am just saying my own. I hope each and every one of us will take his own from here. So Imam Ahmad will not say, hey, why are they saying that about me? وَلَا اسْتِدْلَالَهُمْ لَا يُنْكِرُ عَلَيْهِمْ أَقْوَالَهُمْ وَلَا اسْتِدْلَالَهُمْ. He will not say, even the way they made evidence is wrong. This, that. وَإِنْ لَمْ يَكُنْ هُوَ مُوَافِقًا عَلَى ذَلِكَ كُلِّهِ. Even though he does not accept all those opinions, he will just say his own. And this is the correct thing. This is the evidence. Like this, like this. He will not start criticizing. Don't mind them. Don't do this. Don't do that. No. Imam Ahmad will not do that. He can say that hadith has issues. If the other group cites a hadith and he says that hadith is da'if, has he not already shown Nasihah? He has already clarified the matter. The only thing is that it is the learned people who now understand that the meaning of what he is saying is that their madhab is da'if. And Imam Ahmad rahimahullah, Ibn Rajab continued and said, وَقَدْ اسْتَحْسَنَ الْإِمَامُ أَحْمَدْ مَا حُكِيَ عَنْ حَاتِمِ الْأَصَمِّ مَا حُكِيَ عَنْ مَنْ حَاتِمٍ الْأَصَمِّ أَنَّهُ قِيلَ لَهُ أنت رجل أعجمي لا تفصح وما ناظرك أحد إلا قطعته بأي شيء تغلب خصمك فقال بثلاث. Al-Imam Ibn Rajab said وقد استحسن الإمام أحمد. Al-Imam Ahmad has considered something good. He looked at the statement and said, this thing is very good. What was that? A statement that was ascribed to Asim al-Asam. Asim al-Asam was from amongst the people of Hikmah during the time of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. In fact, he had a laqab. They used to call him Luqmanu hadhihi al-Ummah. You know Luqmanu al-Hakim? وَإِذْ قَالَ لُقْمَانُ لِابْنِهِ وَهُوَ يَعِظُهُ يَا بُنَيَّ لَا تُشْرِكْ بِاللَّهِ. This Luqman that Allah mentioned, كَانَ حَكِيمًا. But as for Asim al-Asam, he used to be called what? Luqmanul Ummah. Our Luqman in our Ummah. Why? He has a lot of kalimat that are wise. He was not known to have reported a hadith musnadan. فَلَا يُعَدُّ مِنَ الْمُحَدِّثِينَ. He would not be considered as from the scholars of hadith. But he learned Islam. In fact, he was always with Al-Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. In fact, there was a report that Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal went to ask him a question about a matter from the issues of hikmah. And he gave a very good advice on the matter. So Asim al-Asam, he is Asim ibn Unwan, Abu Abdur-Rahman al-Asam. Asim ibn Unwan. Unwan, address. That was the name of his father. Asim ibn Unwan ibn Yusuf al-Balkhi. He was from the scholars of Balkh. Balkh today occurs in Afghanistan. So Asim al-Asam said that it was said to him, Annahu kila lahu. Asim al-Asam was asked, Anta rajulun a'jamiyyun la tufsihu. You are a man from non-native speakers of Arabic. La tufsihu. You don't have fasaha. You don't have eloquence. No linguistic eloquence. You are not a linguistically eloquent person. You know what I mean by linguistic eloquence? He doesn't have it. And eloquence is a gift from Allah. Did you not see that Rasulullah Musa alayhi salatu salam was begging Allah for eloquence? رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة في لساني. Why? يفقه. He wasn't eloquent. Allah gave him eloquence. So eloquence is a gift from Allah. Fasaha is gift. Some scholars are not. From those who have been mentioned like that was Nāsir, the Shaykh of Malik. He was not, he didn't have eloquence. There are many amongst the Imām like that. No eloquence. From those who have been mentioned with no eloquence was Ibrāhīm ibn Yazid in Nakhi. No eloquence. Lakin كانوا من أئمة الإسلام. Ibrāhīm ibn Yazid al-Nakhi, he was from the fuqaha of Kufa. Nafi. It does not need introduction. Shaykh Malik, Talib ibn Umar. When Ibn Umar died, they wanted to sell him. He said, In bi'tumuni, if you sell me, bi'tum uluma abikum. You sold the knowledge of your father. Why? He wants to be called Mawla ibn Umar forever. Nafi, he didn't have fasaha. There are many scholars like that. Fasaha does not indicate scholarship. Neither does it indicate hikmah. That is one problem in modern day. You see WhatsApp message, people will be writing grammar. Many of them, if you read it, it will contradict one hadith or one ayah. But because they say one Ibrāhīm something, one Spencer Hunter, one Adam Smith, one Graham, go study it. Our brothers will start pasting it on. Hey, and women. Especially issues on self-love. Love yourself. Don't allow anybody to start pasting it. It's not hadith. So. يَسْتَحْسِنُونَهَا. Say, see this one. Because the expression is sweet. Not every sweet expression is correct. Sometimes I used to address it with the brothers or those involved. I will now address the matter. This thing is not correct, even though it is sweet. So not every sweet expression is right. If you want to put something on your WhatsApp, look at Quran and Sunnah first before you affirm it. Because when you make nakd, you are giving support, and the thing is contradicting Quran and Sunnah. So Asim al-Asam was a person of hikmah who was known with the people of knowledge, like Al-Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. So it was said to him, Anta rajulun a'jami. You are a man from the non-Arabs. La tufsihu. You are not an eloquent person. Oh, you don't have fasaha. Yet, مَا نَاظَرَكَ أَحَدٌ إِلَّا قَطَعْتَهُ. No one had an intellectual discussion with you except that you defeated the person. فَبِأَيِّ شَيْءٍ تَغْلِبُ خَصْمَكَ. How come? How are you able? What is that thing you are using to overcome those who confront you? How do you do it? فَقَالَ بِثَلَاثٍ. He said, I use 3 things. Number 1, أَفْرَحُ إِذَا أَصَابَ خَصْمِي. If the person confront me is correct, أَفْرَحُ, I will be delighted, I will be happy. Ikhwa, Yorubas will say, Kama paro kama jali. Someone confronts you and he's correct. Let me look for those brothers who are very active on Facebook. If you say something and the other person is correct, they attack you. Because on Facebook, amongst brothers, it is attack. They call it attack. Attack. You want to make Naseehah. They call Naseehah. What do they call it? Attack. And it then becomes attack. No talk. If you make a statement, they attack you. And you now see that that attack is correct. Let's not be calling it attack. Even the rod, it's softer when you say Naseehah or Ta'liq. Ta'liq does not necessarily mean muwafaqa. You just commented. Why? You want to honor that brother you want to correct so that you can take that correction. I tell you, Yema, Ufe, Rodway. Do you become happy when it is your opponent that is correct? Do your opponents become correct? Do they ever become correct? Has somebody confronted you before and you saw that what he said is correct? You can't remember. Because our brain does not have that factory setting that I can listen to somebody who opposes me and then I will say that this one, that's why, all right, Wallahi, we hardly do it. We hardly do it. Even, let's say not that day, maybe he raised issues against you, you went back, you searched, I'm wrong. It is possible you find, but it's not a common thing with us. And this thing should be in every discussion. When there's difference, one person is necessarily right, the other one is what? Necessarily wrong. The two opposing views cannot be correct. Except in those masail al-khilafiyah, that the matter is worse. But the brothers look at it, they didn't look at it with wusr. Otherwise, two opposing views will not be correct. You are still thinking. So, the first thing I do, that with which Allah gives me victory over a person who confronts me, is that afrahu idha asaba khasmi. I will be delighted if the person confronting me, idha asaba, when he comes up with the truth. This one resembles that statement of Shafi'i. For me, I will be happy. It said, Rahimahullah, wa ahzanu idha akhta. If he errs, I don't like it. Someone confronts me now errs, I don't like it. I fall into huzn. Do you become sad when the other person is wrong and you are right? وَأَحْفَظُ لِسَانِي عَنْهُ أَنْ أَقُولَ لَهُ مَا يُسِيئُهُ. I will preserve my tongue against him so that I do not say something against him that will be bad about him. As I am confronting him, he is confronting me. If the truth comes from him, I will be happy. If the truth comes from me, I will be sad. And then when I'm replying him, ahfadhu lisani, I will take care of my tongue, so that I do not say something you see that will make him feel bad. Our own. That's where we start. We want to say something that you bombe. Our ma'na hada. Rajab said something like this right, or these kinds of response. We are the response of Asim al-Asam. The first one is that يفرح إذا أصاب الخصم ويحزنه إذا أخطأ. يحزنه يحفظ لسانه أن يقول له ما يسيئه, so that he does not say something that makes him feel bad. فقال أحمد, Imam Ahmad then said, ما أعقله من رجل, how so brilliant and intelligent was Asim al-Asam. ما أعقله من رجل, amongst men, how so brilliant a man. It's a statement in astonishment and positive amazement. This man is very brilliant. Okay, how will he not win you? You came for Rajab and run against him. He is looking for the truth inside your statement. So when he says, when you realize you say the truth, he's happy. Say, yes, you are correct. Has he not already won the debate? Okay, when he says the truth, he feels bad. And then as you are talking and exchanging evidence for evidence, يَحْفَظُ لِسَانَهُ أَنْ يَقُولَ مَا يُسِيئُكَ, he will be preserving his tongue not to say something that will now make you become angry. He will never make you become angry. Ikhwa, one of the things that spoils discussion are those negative comments you start with. Start abusing the man, and you want him to take the evidence. Then you say, "What shall I even go back? Ever die?" Ibn Rajab continued and said, "Rahimahullah, فَحِينَئِذٍ." After we have understood all of these that we have said, it says, فَرَدُّ الْمَقَالَاتِ الضَّعِيفَةِ, refuting and correcting expressions, views, or writings that are weak in their positions. وَتَبْيِينُ الْحَقِّ, and making the truth to be manifest. فِي خِلَافِهَا, in contradiction of those weak positions, those weak articles, those weak views. بِالْأَدِلَّةِ الشَّرْعِيَّةِ, using the evidences from the Sharia. لَيْسَ هُوَ مِمَّا يَكْرَهُهُ أُولَٰئِكَ الْعُلَمَاءِ, it is not at all from the things that the scholars were rejecting. The scholars did not hate it. They did not hate what? رَدُّ الْمَقَالَاتِ الضَّعِيفَةِ بِالْأَدِلَّةِ الشَّرْعِيَّةِ, refuting views, articles, positions that are weak, refuting them, correcting them, بِالْأَدِلَّةِ الشَّرْعِيَّةِ, with the evidences from the Sharia. This one is wrong, this one is wrong, this one is wrong. The scholars, لَيْسَ هُوَ مِمَّا يَكْرَهُهُ أُولَٰئِكَ الْعُلَمَاءِ, it is not at all from the issues that those scholars were hating at all. بَلْ مِمَّا يُحِبُّونَهُ, in fact, it is rather from the things that they liked. وَيَمْدَحُونَ فَعِيلَهُ, they used to praise those who do it. وَيُثْنُونَ عَلَيْهِ, they used to say good things about those who correct the errors. This thing is an error, they correct. This is an error, they correct. It's an error, they correct it. It's an error, they correct it. This one is wrong, they correct it. Where's the hujjah? This is it. They used to like it. one of the scholars who did a work recently. That work, I don't know how he came about it, but the day when I asked him, Hafizahullah, he said to me that it was the result of his own reading all his life. Tanbihul Hajid Bima waqa'a min al-khata'i fi kutub al-amajid. The mistakes in the books of the scholars. That's the simple title. All the errors in the mistakes of the past scholars. He is writing it. I have it up to volume 6. When I met him, he said it is now volume 15. The errors in the books of scholars. So how do you see this error now? The book he wrote, is it good or bad? If you read it, you see he did it with honor. No bad things inside. The books he concentrated on was the Ma'ajim of Al-Imam At-Tibyān. The 3 Ma'ajim of At-Tibyān. And then Mustadrak Hakim. And then Sahih Ibn Hibban. And the Kutub al-Tarikh by Al-Imam al-Bukhari, Tarikh al-Kabir and As-Saghir. Al-Jarh wa al-Ta'dil by Al-Imam Ibn Abi Hatim. Ila al-Darq. These are big books of hadith. He was pointing out the errors in those books. He has 15 volumes. I have 6 from the 15. I first saw the book when it was in 1 volume. One of my teachers had it when it was in 1 volume. The next time we heard about the 6 volumes, that was when we bought the book. When I met him last year, he told me it's 15 volumes. Errors, mistakes in the books of hadith. Another person who did that long ago was Al-Imam Al-Khattabi. Tashifatul Muhaddithin. Tashifatul Muhaddithin. The errors that the scholars of hadith had in their books. So most of them in the book of Khattabi were errors that had to do with lugha. He corrected them. This one is wrong. This is not like this. It's like this. It's like this. It's like this. So it's been long that scholars have been correcting scholars. I have a book in 11 volumes. Awhamul Muhaddithin al-Thiqat. Thiqat A'imma. Sufyan al-Thawri, his mistakes. Dar Qutni rahimahullah, Ali ibn Umar. He has a book, Ahadith Khulifa Fiha Malik. The ahadith that people contradicted Malik. It was Malik who was wrong. The errors of Malik, let's put it like that. Mistakes by Malik. Why were they doing all of these? They were إظهار الحق وتبيينه وليكون أو لتكون كلمة الله هي العليا. That's the answer. So long ago, Tabarani, all his ma'ajim. Today, how many years ago? 1,150 years ago. 1,200, count it, take it 1,200. Or 1,000, there you are, 1,200, or thereabout, since Tabarani. Someone came to start saying these are the mistakes in the ma'ajim of At-Tabarani. Al-Imam Al-Albani also did a lot in Silsilat al-Sahiha and Da'ifa and Irwa al-Ghalib and in other books like An-Naseehah. But when he left too, some scholars came to say, oh, mistakes of Shaykh Al-Albani. It is when you are useless that people don't see your mistake. People don't see mistake of useless people. Why? You are useless. What anything is over, his rightness is useless. What will his mistake do to us? So if you are a person that it is important to correct your mistake, it means that you are important. If it is important to correct your mistake, Allah has made you to be important. Sha'u aw abaw. So this is what I used to give myself cool temper. The first time, there's a book, since I see it, I don't read it. Ar-Raddu al-Bukhari by Abu Hatim, Muhammad ibn Idris Ar-Razi. He was refuting Al-Bukhari not in Sahih, in Tarikh al-Kabir. He wants to point mistakes of Al-Imam al-Bukhari. The first time I saw it, I was scared. Abu Hatim. But you know, there was tanafus between them. There was contest for supremacy between those three. Ubaydullah ibn Abdul Karim Razi Abu Zura and Muhammad ibn Idris Abu Hatim, and the son of Abu Hatim, Abdur-Rahman, who is the author of Tafsir ibn Abi Hatim. These three versus Bukhari. There is tanafus like Kilo Magana. You know, it has always been like that. It's there. One scholar. Scholars always say about another scholar, Kiloma. They know Koma anymore. So when you hear a learned person say, kill me another learned person, you want to sobe. Or you buy new tier. It's amongst them. Was it Al-Imam al-Luqnawi and Siddiq Hassan Khan? Bayna al-Luqnawi was Siddiq Hassan Khan. Huma huwa baynahuma. Al-Imam al-Luqnawi and Siddiq Hassan Khan. It was Siddiq who died first, or Luqnawi. From the scholars of India. The other ones that they are on the necks of one another like this. But when one died, the other one was crying. Yeah. Oh, subhanallah. So you now see that rod here, amongst them. Don't you see that it's their own matter? So if Al-Luqnawi would say the other person, La ilma indahu, should you say La ilma indahu? So don't say about learned people what your own teachers say. Your teachers may be good enough to be able to say it, but you, So all this kind of shock absorber and brake and bombs, let us put it upon our manhaj salafi, because that was the manhaj of the salaf. Manhaj salafi does not give you the ticket to insult everybody. Latin boy, throw away. فَنُنْكِرُ عَلَيْهِ إِسَاءَتَهُ وَفُحْشَ كَلَامِهِ. I think we can stop here. We'll continue from here in the next class, inshallah. If we have one or two questions before we go. So our next reading will come from, it says, فَحِينَئِذٍ فَرَدُّ الْمَقَالَاتِ الضَّعِيفَةِ وَتَبْيِينُ الْحَقِّ فِي خِلَافِهَا بِالْأَدِلَّةِ الشَّرْعِيَّةِ لَيْسَ هُوَ مِمَّا يَقْرَأُهُ العلماء بل مما يحبونه ويمدحون فاعله ويثنون عليه. I have seen things like this in Silsilatul Ahadith al-Sahih, where Al-Imam al-Albani will say, hey, I said this before, so person. Should I mention one person Imam al-Albani always talk about? Ali al-Halabi. I said this. Ali al-Halabi now phoned me and said, Shaykh, this mistake. I now correct it. Jazawullahu khair. That's Ali al-Halabi. So all these kinds of corrections, فَلَا يَكُونُ دَاخِلًا فِي بَابِ الْغِيبَةِ بِالْكُلِّيَّةِ. So these issues will not come in their entirety under the issues of what? Ghibah. What does it mean? It will not be about ذِكْرُكَ أَخَوْكَ بِمَا يَكْرَهُ ذِكْرَهُ. He does not like you to say things like that. Yes, that's ghibah. But this is, yes, he may not like what I say, but this is not ghibah at all. Why? I want iqamatu al-hujjah, iqamatu al-deen, iqamatu al-haq. That's the intention. It is not the mujarradi al-dham and the like of that. Wal-aib. No, it's not the intention. I just want the truth to be clear. So this one is nasiha. It is not what? At-ta'im. It is nasiha. It is not at-ta'im. Don't forget, this book is an explanation about Al-Farq Bayna An-Naseehah wa At-Ta'im. We can take one question before we go on to. I mean one. Now, you got an information from two credible sources. Okay. What? وَإِن Now, those two problems, those two statements, they did not contradict themselves, like I said. Sometimes issues are wide. We think that they are one. So you want to bring the two of them together as one. But no, they will not accept one place. They are wide. You accept this at its own place, this one in its own place. The first statement is that if you are patient, your risk will come to you. The second one is that struggle so that if you have a job in the morning, you can also do another job in the evening. They do not contradict the fact that your risk will come to you. Your risk will come to you does not mean don't do anything. So how do you put them together? Your risk will come to you in that place where you are doing something. That workplace where you come, your risk will come there. The one that Allah has said to come to you in your house, when you return from work, it will come to you. So they are not contradictory. I am a post-secondary school graduate of Islamic sciences, but yet I found it difficult to understand some books written on fiqh, while I understand some basics of lugha. Wallahi wa rabbil Kaaba. If you want, only my young pata, when you go too much, I don't care. Wallahi, so you have to be humble, but you still need that lugha. You still need that lugha. Ibn Rajab rahimahullah in Bayanu Fadli Ilmi Salafi ala Ilmi al-Khalaf, he said al-lughatu fil ilm. It's a lugha in knowledge. It's like salt. Lugha in knowledge is like what? Salt fit down in food. Can you eat food without salt? La tatamatta'u. You will not enjoy the food. If they cook your best food, what's your best food? Rice atewa. Rice atewa. Ateja. Abera. They didn't put salt. You will not enjoy the food. You may not eat it. Ojena tellen. Kilo de one life to see on there. When you complain, he's already complaining. So lugha in the knowledge of this deen is like salt. If the salt is not in the food, you will not enjoy it. Or if they put the salt, but the salt is not enough, you will not enjoy it. You want to put to you have to learn Luga additionally. But if the salt is much, it will spoil the food. I didn't say it, Ibn Rajab said it. This same Ibn Rajab. So the details, you can go and start speaking at it. Why do I say that? I want to say that sometimes people get busy with a lot of Luga. The basics of Sharia they don't know. He doesn't know wudu. He doesn't know Salatul Nabi. No Salat, no wudu. Tawheed is shaking. Basic fiqh he doesn't know. Fiqhul miyah he doesn't know. And in Luga, can huwa rabbun fiha is a Lord in Luga. Subaku malu alashi. Nafa'athu lugatuhu. So but this brother said he doesn't understand the books of fiqh, perhaps the way you have learnt the Luga. If you learnt Luga from people who don't know about the religion, you are likely to be like this. If you learnt Luga from those people who don't know the religion, you are likely to be like this. But if you learnt Luga from people who know the religion, there is istishhadat, nahwiya, safiya, all of these kinds of examples. They will be from the things of religion. So that one will be, and your discussions in the madrasa or in the halqa will be about deen, inside the Luga itself. So what you need to do is look for a person of sunnah to teach you how to read the books of faith. It is not the first time I'm hearing things like this. When I was in youth service, I had a very good brother, Hafizahullah, very gentle, nice brother. He was in Al-Azhar. He said, Abu Nāsir, I said, Mo maloga de bigbe. He used to tell me that. He said, but once they say, call a Malik, call a Shafi, everything will just scatter. He will not understand anything again. He was studying Sharia in Al-Azhar. He left it. He now went to Malaysia to go and study information journalism. Summary. They call it one name, but it is journalism. You left Sharia to study journalism. That was what brought us to this discussion. I said, how come you study journalism? He's explained. I know, look. I said, but when they start saying, all those kalimat and ibarat in the books of fiqh, everything will just scatter. So if he enters the exam hall, in Luga, in all the Mawad, Lugawiya, he will pass. But when it comes to fiqhiyah and he's studying Sharia, everything will scatter. So he left it in part 3. He went to Malaysia to go and study journalism. So sometimes things that I'm saying that I've heard something like that before. Somebody say, I know Luga, but when I'm reading books of fiqh, I don't understand. Give them Fathul Bari, they will not understand. I tell you this. Give him Sharh ila al-Tirmidhi by Ibn Rajab al-Hanbali. Oleye. I remember the first time I got, and I'm going to stop here so that we can go. The first time I bought Al-Istidhkar by Imām Ibn Abdul Barr in 25 volumes. Very nice book. It's a book of hadith and fiqh. It's supposed to be a summary of At-Tamhid and a mentioning of some things he did not mention in At-Tamhid. When I brought it to the house, and that's a problem with people of Luga, really, who ascribe themselves to it. Wọ́n máa ń rò pé gbogbo nǹkan làwọn lè kà. Ìgbà tán bá kojú bọ̀ tán pé àkùmọ̀ yé mi. Every line we have like names of 5 or 6 scholars. Scholar Kata, who are Madhab Kata, in Al-Istidhkar. I kept my book Jejeo in the house. One of the women went to carry the book. You know this look up. He was reading. I looked at this. I removed my eyes. You know the first day when you have a book that you love, she carried. Maybe the person is there hearing me. So she closed it and dropped it. But she was sitting there looking at me. I knew that there is trouble. She said, Abu, I said, now. What are they discussing in this book? I said, she said, no, names. Names. How many names will I remember? She just dropped my salam alaikum. So, likulli fannin rijaluhu. So if you learn Luga from a person of Luga, look for a person of Hadith, learn Hadith from him. Look for a person of Fiqh, learn Fiqh from him. Look for a person of Tafsir, learn Tafsir. That was how the Salaf were. This manhaj Salafi now again. Look for a person of Luga, learn Luga. Look for a person of Hadith, learn Hadith. Why do you want to learn Fiqh from a person of Luga? Why do you want to learn Hadith from a person of Fiqh? You start scatter everywhere. He wants to patch it up. The patching will show. Somebody in one place that I have lived before is a PhD in, let me not say it so that it will not be known, from Mecca. He studied in Saudi, PhD. He picked Muqaddimah, Ulum al-Hadith by Ibn Salah. He said he wants to do Dawrah of Hadith. The book he wants to start with, Ulum al-Hadith by Ibn Salah. He enough remember Dawrah Ibn al-Hadith. Some brothers went to record it. They sent to me, they say, see your friend. That's where you start from. The reading itself was trouble. May Allah protect us. So I advise this brother, if you have learnt your Loga and you have good Loga with which you can read books in Arabic, look for a person of fiqh or a person of hadith or a person who has good knowledge of ilm al-hadith, ilm al-fiqh together, and then learn how that field too, how to study books in that field, learn that one too. There's no blame in that at all. May Allah grant this brother his tawfiq. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.